Part 1. Into the Wild. After losing her husband in a tragic accident, Mira, a 34-year-old botanist, decides to retreat from city life and raise her 8-year-old son, Aryan, in the heart of the Western Ghats jungle in India. She takes up a research project cataloging rare plants deep in the forest, where they live in a small wooden house built by forest workers. The jungle is beautiful, but wild, unpredictable, and filled with secrets. Part 2. Uneasy Whispers. Mira keeps Aryan homeschooled and close, but strange things begin happening. At night, they hear distant chanting and animal-like growls that don't match any species Mira knows. Aryan says he sees a shadow man with glowing eyes, watching them from the trees. Tools go missing. Footprints appear around the house, too large to be human, but too shapely to be animal. A local forest ranger, Vanraaksh, visits occasionally and warns Mira, there are places in this forest even we don't go. Not everything here is meant to be studied. She dismisses the talk as superstition until Aryan goes missing. Part 3. The Hunt. Panicked, Mira follows a trail into a deeper, restricted zone of the forest. As she ventures deeper, she finds ancient tribal symbols carved into trees. Her flashlight flickers. She feels like she's being followed. She discovers an abandoned tribal village where fires still smolder. Suddenly, she's attacked, not by an animal, but by a human figure covered in mud and leaves, camouflaged like the jungle itself. She knocks him unconscious and escapes, only to realize Aryan is with them, safe, unharmed. A hidden tribe called the Vanraaksh, long thought extinct, has been living in secrecy, watching them. Aryan had wandered too close, and they took him not out of malice, but curiosity. He has a rare ability. He communicates with animals, a trait they believe comes once in a generation. Part 4. Truth and Choice. Mira learns that her husband was researching the Vanraaksh before his death. He believed Aryan was gifted and had left clues in his journals for Mira to find. His death may not have been an accident. It may have been murder by someone who wanted to exploit the tribe's secrets. Vanraaksh, the ranger, returns, demanding Mira leave the jungle immediately. But Mira realizes Vanraaksh knew all along. He had tried to find the Vanraaksh and failed. He killed her husband to keep the secret buried and now wants to use Aryan. Mira confronts him in a tense standoff near a cliff. Vanraaksh pulls a gun, but the jungle rises. The Vanraaksh emerge silently from the shadows. A tiger roars. Vanraaksh backs away and falls to his death. Part 5. A New Life. Mira decides to stay, not to hide, but to protect the Vanraaksh and document the forest respectfully. Aryan is accepted by the tribe as a voice of balance between man and nature. Years later, Mira's research becomes legendary, not for its fame, but for its respect of boundaries. She never reveals the tribe's location, only publishing about plant life and biodiversity. Ending scene. Mira sits on the porch of her wooden hut. Aryan, now 15, walks beside a panther, his companion. The jungle is no longer just a place of mystery and fear. It is home. The forest doesn't whisper to everyone, Mira writes in her journal, but for those who listen, with love, it sings. Final chapter. Echoes of the Forest. 10 years later, the jungle has changed, not in its appearance, but in how Mira sees it. She stands at the edge of a high ridge overlooking the endless green canopy, a diary in one hand and a small satchel in the other. Aryan, now 18, tall and calm, like the forest itself, stands beside her. A sleek black panther rubs against his leg like an old friend. Are you ready? She asks him gently. Aryan nods. Today, he is leaving, not forever, but to step into his own path. The Vanraaksh elders believe it is time for Aryan to see the outside world again, not to abandon the jungle, but to bridge it with the world beyond, to teach others what he has learned. He will speak at international ecological forums, not as a scientist, but as a voice of the forest. Before he leaves, Mira opens the satchel and pulls out a small jar of ashes, her husband's. She had kept them all these years, waiting for the right time. Together, she and Aryan sprinkle the ashes from the ridge into the wind. He always wanted to become one with nature, she whispers. Now he finally is. As the ashes drift into the trees, a soft wind rustles the canopy, and a distant, almost melodic growl is heard, like the forest is speaking back. Mira closes the diary, writing the last words. The jungle didn't take anything from me. It gave me everything: truth, purpose, and my son's future. We came here to escape, but we stayed, because this is where we truly belong. Aryan hugs her, and with one last look, disappears into the trees, with the panther at his side. Mira stays. She no longer fears the forest. She knows its secrets, speaks its language, and guards its soul. Final line. In the heart of the wild, we didn't just survive, we awakened.